finally getting to the camper. Now, I know it's kind of a mess in here, but it's usually not as bad as it looks. And the camper's small, it just won't take that long to clean it up. I don't even know where to start. I think I'll just haul all this stuff off, set it in the shop, and then bring it back in after I do some cleanup in here. All right, first step done. I've got really most of this, anything I don't need is out of here now. And everything's really kind of a mess. But the first thing I want to look at are these lights here in the kitchen. Now, near the end of our Alaska trip, they stopped working right. You can see that one, it's just a very faint glow, nothing at all there, and a little more of a glow there. And what they're supposed to look like are these here. Look how bright those are. They're exact same lights, and they're just not working right. So I do have this new light out of the box that was just an extra. I'll go ahead and try it. I think I'll try it in the middle where this one is completely out. First I'll turn it off, although it's not really a danger. Oh yeah, look at that. That was it. I just go ahead and order a few more of these. I think I'm gonna order some spares too, because it was really a pain not having this light in here when we were camping. Now, one of the little maintenance things I'll do here is I want to reseal where the countertop meets the wall here. I just want to have a good joint there, make it easy to clean, and make sure no water gets inside of there. I also want to caulk this baseboard down to the flooring. I don't know why I didn't do that when I remodeled originally. I normally do that, caulk the baseboard to the floor in kitchens and bathrooms, and that's kind of where I am here, is in the kitchen. So I'll go ahead and do it now. It's just going to make it a lot easier to keep it clean. Well, the camper is sparkling clean now, and I got the new lights installed here in the kitchen. It is great having those things work at full power. And down here on the floor, I recalked the baseboard, got all the paint touch-up done, and I got the little step back in place again. Now the next step is going to be to load this onto my truck. You could probably hear a little rain coming down on the roof, but the next dry day, I'm going to get the lumber rack off my pickup truck and get this camper loaded onto it. Today I have to get the lumber rack off of my pickup truck so I can put the camper on it, because in a few days we're taking off for that truck camper rally over in Arizona. Now, it's really heavy, and it's one of the most physically difficult things I do, getting the lumber rack off my truck by myself. I don't really have a good method of doing it yet. I just kind of slide it off and get it onto some sawhorses somehow. Not only is it a really cold day today, you can see I'm wearing long pants and socks with my sandals, but I've got a head cold going on, so it's going to be a struggle, but I got to get it done. So now my sawhorses are getting a bit weak, so the first thing I got to do is put some screws in here. These things are very old, and they've been out in the weather for years, but I think this will work. All right, I'll start with that and see how it goes. From trial and error, I found out I got to get a piece across that. One time I was sliding it off, it started going off the side, and if that falls off, it's going to really destroy the side of the truck. Oh, and it was bolted down. I took all the bolts out. Another part of the problem is my truck bed is a little narrower in the back than it is in the front. So everywhere I turn, there's just some kind of a weird problem that makes it more difficult. Now as I slide this back and I start to tilt it down, this little board here is going to want to slide forward. So I've got to find a way to prevent that. Alright, so I'll try this. Take these little blocks, screw it underneath here. That should prevent it from sliding forward, prevent this board from sliding forward. If you're still determined to slide, figure something else out. I have an idea. There it is. This is only the third time I've done it, and this is by far the easiest it's ever gone. That was nice. Now, if only I could get it back on again that easily, I'd really be happy. I just can't even believe how well that went. It was so much more difficult in the past. I think I'm finally getting some systems down. Now the next thing I got to do is I have a piece of 3/4 inch plywood I put in the bed of my truck, because I got to raise the camper up just a little bit to clear the cab properly. "100% success. Great tool to have." Also got this big rubber mat that sits in there. It's a non-skid thing, so once I got that piece of plywood in there and screwed down, I'll put this back on top of it, because the camper really just kind of sits in the back of your truck. You know, we got a couple of turnbuckles holding it down, but there's really not that much holding it in. So non-skid really helps if I'm going up a hill. I don't want to worry about the camper sliding out the back. This thing is so incredibly heavy. Everything's heavy today. Sorry, don't mean to whine. And the tailgate's got to come off, but it's designed to come off easily. I swear it is. Now I cut up this piece of plywood like this just to save a little bit of weight. Weight is everything when you're dealing with truck campers. So what I do is I screw this thing down, then I'll put that rubber mat back on top of it, and that works pretty well. Looks good. Now I'll sweep this mat off and wrestle it back up in there. And it's not just because it's so heavy, it's also real floppy like that. Looks good. Now, I'm basically ready for the camper. Okay, I guess I'm ready. This is by far one of the most nerve-wracking things I do. So it's really just a matter of slowly jacking up each corner a little bit at a time until I get it high enough so I can back my truck underneath it. Now in the past it was a little more difficult. I have these big concrete blocks now, and I think that's just enough extra height so I don't have to go so high on the jacks, and it's not quite as unsteady, but we'll see. Still, I'll be glad when it's on the truck. Centering, but I'm on and I'm basically safe now. I'm going to start letting it down slowly to make sure I'm centered properly. Now I'll get my tape measure, make sure it's centered right, and then I can put the tie downs on, and we'll be good to go. Well, I got them all on there. You can see they're here. I think the camera shut down in the middle, put them on. Got one here, one there, two on the other side. Now I guess I'm ready. If I can get out through this mud here. right, great day. I got the camper safely loaded on the truck and moved over here to the shop. But tomorrow I will load up a lot of the stuff I just took out of here a couple days ago. The dishes, silverware, pots, pans, paper towels, toilet paper, dish soap, things like that. I'll fill the water tank, and then in a couple days I'm going to park it over right next to the house, and we'll load up everything else we're going to need for the trip. This morning, I moved the camper over here by the house, brought out all the sheets, pillowcases, and blankets, and I made the bed up there on the overhead. A lot of people complain about how tough that is to do in a camper, but I didn't think it was that bad. We brought out all the clothes we think we're going to need. We brought jackets, raincoats, umbrellas, gloves. We really don't know all the different kinds of weather we expect to see out there. We loaded up a whole bunch of food. Got my kettle there, got the spice rack there. All loaded up. And I think we're ready to go. First thing tomorrow morning, we are going to hit the road.